first off, I thought this series was so bold and refreshing. And Kathleen, thank you for exploring the never-ending strategizing that women must undertake in the entertainment industry, which can be exhausting sometimes.
Yeah.
Why was this something you wanted to creatively pursue?
I've been in the industry my whole life. I started when I was very young. And so it's kind of, I definitely have my 10,000 hours in this space. It's the world I grew up in. And I just really wanted to sort of tell a story from two female perspectives, a woman who's brand new to the environment and a woman who's kind of grown up in the environment and sort of how that differs. And it was just sort of an area that I really wanted to write about.
Oh, we're so glad you did. It's absolutely fantastic. And two female characters that are so beautifully flawed and complex as well, which, as we all know, is very rare to see on screen. Diane, Joyce's fertility journey is a huge part of the series. Why is it important to destigmatize infertility on screen and debunk this idea that somehow, as women, we're a failure if we're infertile?
Oh my gosh, that's a very loaded question. I don't know if I, have so much to say about destigmatizing something, because to me, that's not my reality. You know what I'm saying? I think if anything, I responded to this character because I think as women, we have worked incredibly hard to finally be in positions of power, to have these, jobs that were mostly reserved for men, and that we as women often want it all, right? We want a family and have the perfect marriage and all those things. And sometimes because we're so focused on work, we keep pushing the other stuff back as much as we can, and until it's almost too late or often too late. And so her internal dilemma about that and wanting and aching to also have a family, that was something that to me brought this character into something very real and very beautiful and vulnerable, as well as being a horrible boss.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It really humanized her, and I think was very relatable. I think as any woman, I'm in my mid-30s, and I'm in a very similar predicament as Joyce. Not quite like that.
Right.
I'm no powerhouse boss, but it's this idea of us struggling to find that success and working in an environment that is so competitive, and then being like, oh. And it's such a real reality. And I felt it was such an important thing to kind of display on screen. Kiernan, Lou says not once, but twice, and it was very impactful, that this is not a story about empowerment. And I feel like it's such a word, empowerment, being empowered, is being kind of misused a little bit now. In your opinion, how has that word and idea of empowerment been misused in Hollywood? And can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know if I think empowerment has been misused a ton. I think that, oftentimes we use words that feel like they're almost they almost define what we're doing, but not quite. And empowerment's kind of an easy one to slap on things that maybe aren't exactly empowering, and that's definitely a nuanced conversation. But I think that what Lou was trying to say, and I think what we're kind of trying to do with this whole thing, is that a lot of times it's just about telling a story, and a lot of times it's just about creating something that is entertaining and gripping and makes people want more, makes people think, but also makes people escape. And at the end of the day, I think that that's what Sharks, this version of it, is a fun ride, and also kind of a gritty, interesting one. So not everything needs to be empowering to still be, I guess feminist and cool and fun. you know,
No, I
not everyone's good, and these characters don't all have like great moral compasses, and it's sort of just messy. It's sort of just messy in that kind of way, like life.
Yeah, I thought that was so beautifully said. And that's exactly what I kind of took away from this series. And that's why I think, like I mentioned earlier, it was so refreshingly bold in that way. Just to wrap up, this has been so lovely. Thank you for your time today. In honor of the scorpion symbolism, and which I was looking up sort of the different symbols of the scorpion, which embody so much of these two fabulous characters, which is control, which is fertility, which is power, which is death. I would love to know which symbol of the scorpion you both think represents your character the most. Your characters the most.
I mean, like power and control.
A poisonous approach
Yeah.
to life or death.
A bit animalistic at times.
Yeah.
We both got bite. Like, right?
Well, it was so cool too, because there's that beautiful like femininity and masculinity, I think too, that kind of embodies the scorpion, with the slyness and and it was so cool to see. And I love the symbolism throughout the show. But anyways, that's my time. Thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on the series.
Thank
Truly.
you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks.